Good afternoon, this is Lana J. Ray, and I'm back again with a news update. It's May 25th, 2024, and I'm going to start off by just reviewing some of the events that we've been looking for the last 4 years, ever since the 2020 Big Steal. If you're a Q watcher like I am, some of these things will seem very familiar to you because they're things that are in the postings. I know that the postings can have more than one meaning, and so yeah, we've hit some things that are very relevant to the post, but I also watch other people. I watch Phil Godlewski. I watch a lot of the different medias that are on Telegram, and the latest one, which is somebody that was just on Phil, and he's actually doing another, like a Q&A on this guy tonight or tomorrow night. But his name is Ivan Ranklin, and I think I've got his name right. I've been researching him a little bit today. I kind of try to just follow where I believe the Spirit is telling me to follow on who I listen to and what things that I'm feeling like is true. Because guys, we are in an information war. And it's a type of civil war. You know, our idea of a civil war was what's in the history book. But what about current day civil war? What would that even look like? Well, it looks like what's going on right now, and probably for the last at least 2 years to 4 years. Just think of the controversy that is going on right now. And you know, I'm in the Springfield, Missouri area, and I can tell you there is what some people would call infighting in the patriot groups. I know that they get loud, and we all get loud and we all get passionate about what we believe in and about what we're saying, and we believe that we are right, or we're right. We know what we're talking about. In Missouri, for example, we have a big governor's race coming up. And for the Republican Party, you know, you've got Bill Eigel, but you've got Jay Ashcroft, and you've also got the guy who's lieutenant governor. You got Kehoe. Well, you know, and there may be another one. But these are the primary three. Hey, you know, we've got people in all the different groups that I'm in. You know, you got people that are really, really on the Ashcroft side. And then you got people that are really for more of the grassroots person, which is your Bill Eigel. And that's my opinion of how I title them. We don't really know. I mean, you know, this is the whole thing with voting for people. And I mean, I could jump off into a totally different angle, which is when we are voting for our county judges. Well, we don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. They get appointed, and then we vote to like keep them or not keep them. We don't have a clue. This is something that's got to change with the new era, with the new republic. And I do believe it's coming. And I will stand on the fact that if I just pull together everything and every resource that I've listened to for 4 years, and just listen to, Steve Bannon and, even Lou Dobbs is back and doing a lot, and Tucker Carlson, and just everything. I listen to lots of people. I still will say, I do believe the military has done a lot through special operations. I do think that President Trump is still the commander-in-chief of the military, because I do believe that the election fraud was big enough. There was evidence that the military has. If you don't think the military has all the evidence that they were there, they were awake out in election day 2020, they were not all asleep, they were not all stationed somewhere. I mean, there was people that's probably in Space Force because Trump created that. Why did he create it? Well, probably so that they could really monitor the elections. They had 2016. They knew Hillary was cheating. They knew all of this. Guys, we have to broaden our mind a little bit. How would you take down a global cabal? You don't do that in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Something this big, as deep as they were infiltrated, has had to have been a plan for a very long time. And there would be moves and counter moves and things that probably would have surprised them, and they had to redo. But I still say, the stuff that I believe is truth is that the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, or maybe George Soros was that high up, I don't know. But these bankers that started, even the ones prior, this is like a family pass down. J.P. Morgan, they created the Federal Reserve, they created the IRS. All of these things we just take for granted as normal, but they're not. They're not normal for a republic, for a free people. The taxation is way too much. It keeps everybody poor or semi-poor. I'm not going to get off into all of that because I've done videos on that before. But I do believe that that very top layer, the people that we can't get to, we're sitting here in a local level with our city, our county, and maybe, a lot of people are involved in state government. Guys, that's about all we can do. That's about all we, the people, can really affect. On a national level, we've got people in our Congress. But even though I could see my House representative for the U.S. Congress, I could see him. I saw him this Saturday, or this last Friday morning. Yesterday. He was home. He looked normal. He didn't look dressed up as an actor. I don't know what's going on up in D.C., but I know Biden's not Biden. I know he's not. We don't know to what extent the cover-up is going on. I don't think there's anything that I can do really about that level, and especially up above, but I know military, special ops, and people, there's people that can deal with the head of the snake. The head of the snake has to be removed so that we can get somewhere. Because if we the people stand up, get involved locally, we can get enough people together with all of the patriot groups, because we're all wanting the same thing. And we may all disagree on which people we want to vote for. But we know we want to take back our nation. And we should understand that there's going to be people that are not really who we think they are, even at a county level and a state level. But we have to investigate them. We have to figure out how they're voting, why they vote the way they do. We need to talk to them. And we need people that will be honest in their reporting, because that's a big deal right now. Big deal. I'm very interested right now in what this Ivan Ranklin is talking about. And I'm going to do a video. It's coming. I'm just going to do it. I'm investigating him right now, researching his website and all of his videos on Rumble. And you guys can do the same thing if you want to, because we need to start researching. And I've sent him an email and asked some questions, because what he's wanting to do is what we're talking about. At the county level, we start bringing people to light, and we even connect with our sheriff. I've been wanting to do this for years, for 4 years. But we have to understand kind of how our county works. And so I've been spending a lot of time even just with how the GOP, the Republican Party, how it operates at a county level, at a state level, at a 7th district level. And I'm still putting videos, and I'll be putting more out on my other channel that's primarily for that, Patriot Resource Network. So go ahead and go over there and click the follow button, and so you'll get those video notifications when they come out. But that's an important, there is some really interesting things that can happen at a Republican state convention. And if you want to talk about passionate people that can be considered infighting, well, you know, it kind of happened. And it's still, the effects of that is still just happening. Some of it's getting a little worse in areas. But you know, this is a part of the Civil War that I was telling you about. You know, hopefully I won't get taken down anywhere for saying that word. I'm not talking about ammunition type war. I'm not talking about, that type of war where you're destroying people. No. I'm talking about information war, where people are believing certain things that they're hearing to the point where they're just passionate. I mean, the people that are voting, that are wanting to vote for Jay Ashcroft, they're very passionate people. They think he's just the one. And the ones that are for Bill Eigel, they think he's the one. Well, what's the truth in all of that? And that's the whole process that we go through as a people when we vote. So you've got to let this play out. But people need, they've just got, you've got personalities going on. But I still think that most of us have not been in this, we've not been in the race on this. Some of us are very new, and we're mad about the 2020 election, and we are still waiting for it to get turned. Because most of us know we can't go on. We can't go on if the elections are rigged every time. Why even friggin' bother? Well, because we feel like it's just convoluted right now. And I don't think we can move on. I don't think our military is truly, I don't think President Trump, the military, and the majority of all of that level of his cabinet, and the people that are highly passionate about the Republic and the fact that we've lost that a long time ago. If you haven't seen my Act of 1871 series on Rumble, you just need to go back and at least look at the first one. Because that's where I look at what Congress did to set up a new government. And we already had a government. There's no need to make another one. Guys, the evidence is pretty revealing about that. And since then, I mean, within the last 6 months, we've had other people in our government that has pretty much said, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot that's going to be coming out, but I want to just real quickly, I know I've spent 15 minutes just saying all that. Some of the things that's still pending from just the Q post, we're supposed to have 9/11 disclosure. We know that 9/11 was an inside job. Most of us probably know that George Bush Jr. was highly involved, along with Cheney, and the bad parts of Israel, the bad people that station themselves as the cabal in Israel were involved. Most of us have seen Trump's 2017 world tour that he took throughout the countries. We saw different things, different leaders that capitulated. That means they gave themselves over and said that they would work with the military. And in some cases, some of the countries like Russia and China, their militaries are a part of an alliance with us. Now, you may still think that this is just the craziest idea, but the media, guys, the media, the voice to the people, the only voice we've had to the people, they've brainwashed us to think that Putin's bad, and Russia's bad, President Xi, and China's bad. The North Korea guy, Kim, he's bad. No. I mean, you can't always believe what Trump's saying because he has to kind of play the deal, play the part. He doesn't give everything away, but these people have all agreed to stop wars, but they have to have the war with the cabal groups. We're waiting for things like the Three Gorge Dam in China to go down. We've heard about it. Three Gorge Dam has the Wuhan lab that we all know started the stupid COVID thing, that lab is underneath that dam. They do a lot of things underwater. Big Pharma is either in there or down from it. It's in the path of the dam. And supposedly there's Bitcoin servers down there. Cryptocurrency, I haven't studied much about it, but from the people that I listen to, when they talk about it, Bitcoin is not one that they recommend at all. And it's because it's really part of more of a cabal background. going on. Now they do, if they recommend any cryptocurrency at all, from the ones that I kind of trust, I hold that loosely, XRP is supposed to be like the best one if you're going to do it. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been focused on silver and a little bit of gold for my IRA stuff. So I think silver's, from everything I'm hearing, it's going to go nuts at some point during this whole process of getting our republic back. The Epstein files are still sitting there, kind of, it all rises to the top, even in the media, and then it just kind of levels out, and then they go to something else. The George Floyd thing is not over. I just don't believe he's dead. I've heard other things too since that the real George Floyd died like 3 years before this event occurred, and that it was really a different guy. There's just a lot to sift through. This is why it's an information wars, because it's like you cannot, people want proof on everything I say, proof on everything. Even election fraud, 2020 election. Well, where's the proof? Well, we've seen a lot of proof. You know, Mike Lindell's given us a lot of proof. We've seen a lot of documents and different things. And my response, because I just get so frustrated with it, I just say, I can't always give you proof. Sometimes it's a gut feeling, and it's just collecting all the information and then asking God, what do I do with all this? What part's true and what part's not? And, you know, getting a sense of clarity just kind of in my mind of what I believe kind of runs together, what comes together and flows well. And that's usually what I report on. But I also say, well, prove that I'm wrong, because I don't think anybody can prove that I'm necessarily wrong. Can you prove that I'm wrong about the 2020 election fraud? Just because Fox News, somebody on there said, Arizona's won for Biden. Our news channel decides, our media. Our media decides who's president. I mean, think about this. They're deciding who won. Based on what? What are they looking at? Who's telling them what to say? We say they lie about everything. Why would we believe that? I'm just saying, you can't prove me wrong about anything. You just can't. At some point, the people are going to have, it's going to have be a type of proof that there's just no doubt. I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm sure this has been thought out. Where's Durham? Where's John Durham? Every once in a while, you'll hear a name. Do I think he's done? No, I don't think he's done. I think all this is about timing and order. Everything has to follow events. It's event driven. Time probably comes into play, but I think it's event driven, and things play out and come out when they need it to. I think a lot of things. Now, you know, there are real bad things happening to people. There's people dying, especially on our level. Our level, you know, we see people dying around us for different things, and sometimes for some real stupid things. But I think there's a lot of stuff on the higher levels, like in the entertainment world, Hollywood, music, and all of that, that we don't know who's alive and who's not. Because how would we? All of that is driven through a media. And they can give us CGI, computer generated images. They can be giving us pictures from 4 years ago. They can act and be whatever. And I think there's things in our national government, the federal government. I think some of these things can be, I think that there can be actors up there. Why would we think there couldn't be? Stuff going on up there. We're not there. We're not there. Sidney Powell. Where's Sidney Powell? What was it she was going to bring? I can't even remember that name of that. Sidney Powell talking about the Germany servers for the election fraud. Oh, she was going to bring the Kraken. The Kraken. I don't think that's over either. Now, here along the way, we've seen her be in lawsuits and that she got let go. So now people think she flipped. And she flipped on Trump, and now she's not really for Trump. Well, that could be, but it might not be. Everything that we hear, we know our phones, guys. I can talk about something on the phone, and within probably 2-3 hours, I see a Facebook ad about the thing I was talking about. I can have a friend pop up. This person wants to be your friend. I just mentioned their name 5 hours ago. I don't even hardly know them. I may not even know them. And their name come up in a conversation. We know that anything that we're listening to that's around all this stuff, the enemy can hear it just as plain as we can if they want to. So why would, and President Trump has said this over and over again, why would we give the enemy what we're going to be doing? Why would we tell them when we're going to strike? Well, why would we do that? Is that not stupid for a military strategy? We're not going to tell, so this is why I think this whole thing with Israel and Iran and all of that. I think all of that is just, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. They were saying we're getting ready to send missiles to Israel. We're going to send missiles. We just set one off and it's going to take, 3 to 4 hours for it to get there. Why would I hear that? Why would I hear that coming from media, mainstream media? Why would you announce an attack? No, I don't buy it. And I think this whole thing, a lot of it is to see, will people just believe anything that the media says? Will they still, after 4 years of all the stuff we've been through with COVID, the vaccines, they lied, there's people dying from them, they're having heart failure. We're going to find out all about all of this. They've fired people. They've made us wear a mask. We've just, on a level that we've never seen before globally, guys, they shut us down. They shut us down globally. I don't know that 5 to 10 years ago we would have ever thought that could have happened globally. Look at what they did. So if they can do that, I believe our military, I believe Trump when he says there's the good generals, and there's about 200 of them at least. I believe the good guys, that there's much more of them than there are the bad ones. I mean, just listening to this Ivan Raiklin guy, just listening to his videos and making notes and watching him, he's got the 350 person list, deep state people's names on a list that he's going after. Some of these people, like there's probably 20 that was involved in Crossfire Hurricane, the Russia thing. They were involved in lots of stuff. It's the same people doing the same stuff. They went after General Flynn, then they went after Trump. They've been after different people. They're probably the ones that helped rig elections. It's just over and over. They've been in other countries, stirring up stuff with them. It's just fascinating how all of this stuff starts coming together. Well, a few of the things that have happened. The Queen, finally, they did announce the Queen dying. We pretty much thought that she was gone quite a while back. Depending on how that capitulation went when Trump was on his world tour, Trump walked in front of her at that. He walked in front of the Queen. And he also walked in front of King Charles, which is not done in front of their military. And he stopped and talked to the military guys, which you don't do that unless I don't think you do that unless you're actually the one. See, we don't know what all these countries did. How far did they give their authority over, and to whom? It's a good question. We did see Jacob Rothschild died through the media. Of course, he was a big one of the families that's over everything, over our whole fake money system, over everything. They infiltrated every social mountain that we have. We've got Klaus Schwab was sick about a month ago. He was sick. I thought he was going to die then through the media. Now he's resigned from the WEF, the World Economic Forum. He's the one world order guy that wants to depopulate us, and I look for him to come through the media that he died somehow. They're going to show him all dying, Bill Gates, somehow, but we know they've all been removed. They've all been removed. Wherever they've went, whether it's Gitmo, whether they're still there or they've been through military tribunals, this thing globally is too big to just do in a year. And you can't do all this stuff. We would never be able, as a people at a local level, we would never be able to get anything done if their hands were still in it. If they were passing millions and millions and billions, they have 90% of the wealth. Rothschilds, Rockefeller, they own everything. They can buy off anybody. Whoever would have a price, they could pay it. There was no limit to what they could do. We have to get that in our heads. To understand this concept of how big this is, you've got to get in your head that they never lacked for resources. And they could buy anybody's price, whatever price you set, they could buy it. They could set you up for life. So many people did do it. Many people in our Congress did do that. Now the ones that maybe didn't, they got blackmailed. That's a whole nother thing too. They got taken out. They were going to take their families out. We can't touch the head of the snake, people. But they had to be removed early on, majority of it, because the threat's too great. We have to bankrupt their money, which is what has been happening, and as silver goes up, the banking systems start losing. And yeah, we're gonna see financial crisis any minute. We're gonna see banks that don't open any day now. They may tell you you've lost it all. We don't have your money. We can't get you your money. The FDIC is broke. So we can't give you your money. I mean, that'll be a national crisis. We're going to have this stuff happen, multiple things at once, because while that's happening, the shelves are empty at the grocery store. While that's happening, they're trying to kill President Trump to keep him from running in the election. While that's happening, we're going to have like tornadoes that like partner together somehow and then just start taking out the sky. The weather is just weird. I think it's way too weird that we've had this many. Somebody said there's like 850 tornadoes just in the last month or two. If you look at, I guess, worldwide, it's just unbelievable. But we know that they can affect the weather. Do we not? Are we not in control of that by now? I would think so, but I don't know. These are the things that we've got enough control back now. I mean, that's why I'm thinking now this Ivan guy's coming out to play, and Phil's promoting him a little bit through his video, through his podcast. Is, and I mean, I've been wanting to take back, and many of us here in our county has been wanting to take our county back for a long time. Trying to do it, trying to get everybody to go vote for certain people, trying to take back our, our commissioners. We want good, conservative, constitutional people in our commissioners, our mayor, our sheriff. We want good people on our library board to get rid of the pedophilia, or at least move it away from the children. I mean, you wouldn't think we'd be dealing with that. We want all the planning and zoning, whether it's city or county, to work together and to not be trying to take our friggin' land away and do stupid stuff with our land. All of these boards and committees, all of these positions, guys, we need to be on there. Find out about your Republican Central Committee in your county. The Central Committee for the Republican Party is the biggest voice that you can ever have. We need to get that. We need to take it back. And for true Republican conservative people. And I mean, it's not easy. We've got to stop thinking that everything in our life is just meant to be just easy. It's not. And war is not going to be easy. We cannot look down at the gun barrel of the person that's getting ready to shoot us and try to shoot him first. This is not the kind of war. That war, as bad as that would be easier. It would be easier to see the enemy in person. He's got a gun, I've got a gun, and I'm shooting him. That's not the kind of war we're in, even though some people are getting hurt and there are things going on behind the scenes. This is not the kind of war we're in. We don't know what to believe. We have a media that has lied to us for years about possibly everything. This is why I'm saying you got to get thick-skinned. You've got to get off the couch and out of your Harlequin romance novel and get in the real world. And I mean, I've just had to we've got to seriously get in and start learning things. We'll never be like, we can never let this happen again. We've got to take our republic back and put it back together again. And we've got to have good people at the top. I think by the time it's over, our federal government will be just 5 to 10 people. Majority of all of them are going to be removed. I'm telling you, the corruption, you can just tell by the people that you hear. Now, and once again, they're talking on the mainstream media. So some are probably telling the truth, but some may not be. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you, we don't know, but we got to still hang in there. We cannot retreat off the line. We will not retreat. We'll just keep moving ahead, and we'll just have to keep taking the information that we get and keep researching it, keep talking to people. You can decide, you have gifts of the Spirit. You can have a discerning mindset where you decide who you're going to believe and who you're not. And then just keep moving on. But some of these people, if we find the corruption that they have done and they've been a part of, we need to be able to have a process, whether it's going to the sheriff of your county, a district attorney. We've got to know what to do, how to go about prosecuting criminals when we find them. And I'm very interested in Ivan Ranklin because he's got a plan on that, and he's working a plan on it. So you can go out to his Rumble channel and just watch his videos, and you can learn all about him just like I did. But I may come on and do a little bit of a just brief, well, my videos are not always brief, I know. But I want to do a little information thing on him because it's very much what I've been looking for. And I think all of the counties would be interested in that. So the other thing that started up that's fairly new is BRICS. And, you know, with the thing that happened in Iran, you know, you kind of wonder what's going to go on there. But none of this is what you think. And they're all about gold and precious metal backed currency. And I still believe NESARA is coming. NESARA is global. It's coming. It may be already, I think it's probably all set up, ready to go. The redemption values of currency between countries, I think it's all ready to go. I'm not smart on that topic, but I try to get enough to where I just kind of understand what it is. I think it's all, and I think BRICS is a part of it. I think Trump is right in the middle of that. It's the alliance, because it's all of them. I mean, you know, it's Russia and Iran, and it's It's the alliance. It may seem, the media may talk a little bit to try to scare you of it, but I think that's our new currency. And I think while it looks really bad across our nation, and there's this stuff going on that with the Trump trials and all this stuff that just seems really bad, I think behind the scenes, they're using that. I mean, the people that's involved, like the Fani Willis, I mean, she's going down. She's already, I mean, they're going to be prosecuting her because it's been showed what she did. The Braggs guy, it's showing what he did. Who's the other one? Is it Jack Smith or it's showing what he did. These trials aren't about Trump. These trials are about everything to do with Biden and his cronies that are all trying to take Trump out. But in the meantime, it's all flipping on them. We're watching them admit, what was the guy that, Michael Cohen? He admitted he stole money, like $30,000 from Trump. It's all coming out like that so that people can see. You have to show the people, and the military knew that. Guys, this is not, I see on Phil's chat channel and different chat channels that I'm on, and people's like waiting for the EBS, the EAS, Emergency Broadcast, Emergency Alert System. They're waiting for the big announcement, where we've rounded up all the bad guys, and so now you're safe and you can just go back and do your thing, or your life will all be, we're going to give you all this money. And I believe that all of that is going to actually happen and be coming down the road in a proper sequence of events. But along with that, if you think the military is just going to baby us and take care of everything and we don't do anything to save our republic, you are wrong, wrong, wrong. They've seen the older generations that had the fight in them. They've seen a lot of them just kind of pass away. The generations that are coming after them, some of the certain generations of people, they just want to sit and be handed everything. They're just spoiled. These are not the people that can maintain a republic. Justice for all, freedom, liberty. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to go in and handle the responsibility of taking care of a city, of a county, of a state. You don't want them running for governor if they can't even get their hands dirty. We've lost over the years through mainstream media brainwashing of how everything's so wonderful and lying to us about really what was going on and how bad it is. And the cabal we would have it bad. You'd have wars. They were paying for both sides of the war, guys. Probably every war we've had, we've never should have even had one. The countries probably weren't even mad at each other. The cabal instigated, he said, she said, on both sides, and it's just going to be sad what we find out, but that's just the way it is. And it's the same thing now. He said, she said. Well, where's the proof for anything? Well, I don't know, but we need to try to find it. We need to figure out how to move on into our counties in such a way that people can be revealed. People's actions can be held accountable and revealed to the whole mass of people. And we need a system that can allow us to remove people in offices without having to wait 2 more years till their term ends. Whether that's some levels you can do a recall, there's things in operation, there's ways to do it. We need to know it. We need to know what they are. I'm just saying, I'm hoping that I can trigger something in everyone. Share this video. Follow me on Rumble, Lana J. Ray. I really want to get the word out and get people motivated. It's a big deal. We don't want to pass this down to our children. Once this gets to a place where we have gotten a hold of our republic again, we can never lose it again. So there's got to be things in place. There's got to be teaching and education. I look for all of our education to change. There's just so much we can do to make everything a better place. And a lot of this is learning how to work together again as people with differences and different ideas. But the founders of our nation did it, and I think that we can too if we will really strive to do that. So I'm going to stop with this one, and I will see you in the next video.